Streaming live on News8000.com. This is News 8 Now, This Morning.
A good Wednesday morning to you. I'm Jordan Fremstead.
And I'm Eric Dean.
This morning on News 8 Now, the former Cashton educator charged in connection to a hit list has agreed to a plea deal.
And in the world of weather, a chilly start across portions of the Coulee region. We're seeing temperatures in the 40s towards Black River Falls and Sparta, but you'll need the sunglasses today. We'll talk about that in a few minutes.
And the countdown is on. The challenge of finding a new shelter for La Crosse's homeless population when Huska Park closes in just 6 weeks. It is Wednesday, September 14th, 2022. We've got all the news, weather, and buzz you need to plan out your morning coming up. But first, here is your Wednesday morning eye-opener.
Over the last couple of years, people have gotten out more with the pandemic, so there's just more traffic out on the roads.
More traffic has led to a higher number of traffic fatalities.
The majority of La Crosse's unsheltered population lives in the Huska Park campground, which will close in just over 6 weeks.
We don't necessarily have the safety net to handle the numbers that we have right now.
It actually is helpful if people are an ally and ask to use the accessible voting machine, because then it reminds poll workers that this voting machine is available and that it should be offered to everyone.
Holman's 4-1 in conference play so far. Vikings looking to stay hot. Rangers, though, without their leader, Jazzy Davis.
We will get to those headlines in just a couple of minutes. Well, same song, different verse, more fog. Take it easy driving to work this morning.
Same stuff, different day.
For sure. Is the sensor back? We were having some technical issues.
Yes, it is. And you know what? Let's have a cheers to that, shall we?
We shall. We shall. We don't have to look out our window to get the forecast now.
Absolutely.
You can listen to him.
Here we go. Sensor's back up and running. Take a look outside right now. We'll go ahead and go back a frame. Hey, there it is, 57 degrees. And you know what? The icon says it best. Fog. Feels like 57. Our dew point's at 55. Our visibility is sitting at a goose egg with winds out of the southeast at 5 miles per hour. Other temperatures across the area in the 40s, some places in the 50s, 52 in Winona, 57 in La Crosse, 57 in Viroqua. Eau Claire, good morning to you guys. You're at 52 degrees. Same story in Decorah, Prairie du Chien, as well as Boscobel. Double Nickel, 55 in Beaver Dam, as well as Marshfield. Now, in terms of visibility, very low visibility across the area, no matter how you slice and dice it, so please use extra caution and keep your low beams on if you're traveling. Again, if you go from point A to point B, just allow yourself a few extra minutes. At the bus stop, there you go. Sunny skies to start. We'll see temperatures right around 62 degrees. Then as we go into the afternoon hours, 83 degrees with partly cloudy skies. I'll have your full forecast coming up in just a few minutes. Jordan, over to you.
All right, thanks a lot for that update, Eric. Well, the Eau Claire County Sheriff's Office says Sheriff Ron Kramer has died unexpectedly. Kramer was elected Eau Claire County's 47th sheriff back in 1996. His service to Eau Claire dated back to 1975 when he started as a reserve deputy. The Sheriff's Office says it will continue to serve the community with the professionalism and respect Sheriff Kramer expected of his entire staff. Officials are asking people to respect the Kramer family's wishes for privacy right now, and that funeral arrangements are pending. The former Cashton educator charged in connection to a hit list has agreed to a plea deal. Investigators say Michelle Herricks wrote a list of teachers' names and the phrases "shoot 'em, stab 'em, blow 'em up" and made it appear as if 2 students wrote it. A security camera caught Herricks dropping the note in a school hallway. She told police her son had problems with one of the students at the top of the list, and she denied any involvement. Herricks and prosecutors agreed to plead guilty or no contest, and if she completes a 2-year program that includes therapy, community service, and paying court fees, Herricks will never serve a sentence. For the 4th year in a row, Wisconsin is on track to see an increase in traffic deaths. News 8 Now's Dua Israr spoke to local law enforcement who say the COVID-19 pandemic may have played a role.
The effects of the COVID-19 pandemic are impacting communities nationwide.
People are trying to express their freedoms.
In the state of Wisconsin, freedom means heading out on the road.
Over the last couple of years, people have gotten out more with the pandemic, so there's just more traffic out on the roads.
More traffic has led to a higher number of traffic fatalities. Traffic-related crashes resulted in 397 deaths statewide.
People are speeding. they're distracted, and they're not wearing their seat belts.
Director of Transportation Safety David Pabst says one of the main causes of a crash is reckless driving.
People are not having regard for their fellow drivers.
This year, law enforcement have issued 17 reckless driving citations in La Crosse and 5 in Onalaska. Onalaska Chief of Police Charles Ashbeck says the consequences of reckless driving are high.
It would take far fewer citations for you to lose your license with reckless driving tickets.
Chief Ashbeck says he's also seen an increase in distracted driving.
We have accidents because somebody tipped over their soda and reached down on the ground and to get that soda and ran into something.
If you're on your cell phone, Pabst says you're 4 times more likely to get into a crash.
It's just second nature for it to be in our hands, and it's so dangerous to have it in your hand while you're driving.
Pabst says in most cases, deadly crashes can be avoided.
Come on, just buckle up, slow your roll, and pay attention. It's really easy.
As long as people keep their eyes on the road. Reporting in Onalaska, Dhu Esrar, News 8 Now.
A lot of common sense. This year, according to the La Crosse Police Department, there have been 3 traffic-related deaths. Well, the city of La Crosse is moving forward to develop a plan on its affordable housing issue with Affordable Housing Complex. Now, the committee passed a resolution to spend roughly $2.6 million of American Rescue Plan Act funds to buy the former Marine Credit Union headquarters. The plan is to convert the building into 30 affordable housing units. Tuesday's vote is the first of many. City leaders are passionate about the project and say La Crosse needs more housing options of all kinds. If all goes as planned, the council is expected to vote on the full proposal in October, and construction could start in the spring of next year. According to La Crosse Mayor Mitch Reynolds, the Monitor Street property will not be used to house the homeless. So News 8 Now asks city leaders again where they will go. More than a year ago, the city moved the unsheltered population from Cameron Park out of the downtown and to Houska Park. As News 8 Now's Emily Haugen found out, the tents in Cameron Park are back.
The makeshift shelters at La Crosse's Cameron Park are popping up once again. Population health nurse Sandy Brecky says it's a sign of what's to come.
Really emergently, what are we going to do this winter?
The majority of La Crosse's unsheltered population lives in the Houska Park campground, which will close in just over 6 weeks. When it does, the roughly 100 people living there must move.
We have more people than available spaces in shelter.
Brecky says that's higher than before, and La Crosse is not alone.
We don't necessarily have the safety net to handle the numbers that we have right now.
A committee of nonprofits, city officials, health systems, and educators have been meeting for months in search of winter shelter.
I'm at the table every week, and we get together and we plan and we strategize for not only the winter but long-term housing as well.
Last year, much of that population moved into the Econo Lodge. Brecky says this year that isn't an option.
There are several plans that I think might be more of an option than others, but we're not there yet, and it isn't for lack of trying.
The committee is determined to have a solution before Houska closes.
But a lot of people are at the table, really working diligently, trying to do what's best for the community and what's best for people who are experiencing homelessness.
To stay warm this winter and eventually find a long-term solution.
To see people who are trying to survive and suffering out on the streets really does impact an entire community.
In La Crosse, Emily Haugen, News 8 Now.
If people have nowhere else to sleep but at city parks, Brecky says local law enforcement will not treat homelessness as a crime. The Wild Kingdom feels a little closer to home this morning. Residents of Onalaska's Brookdale Assisted Living got up close with some animals from Haven's Petting Farm this week. From alpacas to donkeys, there was a little bit of everything. However, there was one animal that really caught the attention and the eye of one resident.
I should go over and see the zebra because that's a very unusual animal. I don't even think when we had a zoo here in La Crosse, they never had a zebra.
Residents tell us they were excited for the petting zoo. It has changed up what they do on a day-to-day basis. Still to come on your Wednesday morning news, voters with disabilities claim that their rights are under attack. We'll explain. And with AAPI hate crimes rising throughout the U.S., one Wisconsin school district decided to add its history to their curriculum. For now, we are sending you to break with something to put the good in your Wednesday morning. And like a scene out of the movie Armageddon, NASA is gearing up to defend the planet. On September 26, the agency's DART spacecraft is set to intentionally crash into an asteroid in an effort to push it off course. This asteroid poses no threat to Earth, but NASA is hoping its very first planetary defense mission will prove the technology effective if the big one does in fact threaten extinction. Pretty cool what technology can do nowadays. It is 10 after the hour here on this Wednesday morning. Your latest forecast is just ahead. We'll be right back right after this.
All right, as you head out the door, we are seeing fog across the Coulee region. Temperatures right now in the 40s and 50s. Again, allow yourself extra time to get from point A to point B as fog is very low. Some places zero visibility, especially across the southern portion of the area. Now, here's a look at your day planner as you go ahead and pour your cereal. We'll see temperatures going into the 60s by the 7 o'clock hour, 68 with sunny skies by the 8 o'clock hour, 72 degrees by the 9 o'clock hour. We have a clean sweep on the radar scan, but we're talking rain chances. We'll talk about that coming up in just a few minutes. Jordan, over to you.
Uber and one of its branches have paid New Jersey's Department of Labor $100 million in back taxes over a driver classification dispute. The rideshare company was found to have improperly classified hundreds of thousands of drivers as independent contractors. It meant those workers didn't receive benefits such as unemployment, temporary disability, or family leave. The payout was the largest of its kind and covered nearly 300,000 drivers. Twitter shareholders formally approved Elon Musk's $44 billion takeover bid on Tuesday. The vote came despite Musk's repeated efforts to back out of the deal. Twitter is suing the Tesla and SpaceX CEO to enforce the agreement. The trial is scheduled to get underway in Delaware on October 17th. Queen Elizabeth's personal net worth was never officially disclosed during her life. Estimates put it between $400 and $500 million. The Washington Post says the Queen's children do not have to pay any inheritance taxes. The Queen's wealth is not to be confused with the monarchy's wealth, the so-called royal firm, which has recently been estimated to be around $28 billion. Yep, that's $28 billion with a B, dollars. The monthly inflation report out yesterday shows prices in most sectors are still stubbornly high, up 8.3% over the past year. It is a statistic we are all paying attention to these days, but getting that number takes a lot of work from hundreds of people. Bradley Blackburn shows us how.
Casey Wenzel isn't at the grocery store to shop, but she is searching for something very specific.
I'm looking for a 7.5 ounce can of mackerel.
Wenzel is one of 475 economic assistants with the Bureau of Labor Statistics who fan out across the country every month checking actual prices.
Okay, now I'm going to move on to the next item.
And how precise are we talking here?
Very precise, very accurate.
Down to the penny?
Down to the penny.
Pennies matter because they all factor into the Consumer Price Index, the monthly inflation rate used in calculations for everything from Social Security payments to salaries. Maureen McDevitt Green oversees price programs for the Philadelphia region.
I expect most people think that there's some computer someplace that's just like whirling around and spitting out a number, but this is very real.
They track prices for some 100,000 goods and services. Everything from canned mackerel to cars, rents to repair work.
We price telecommunications, we price tuition, we price daycare, anything that you can think about, we're pricing it.
Wenzel has been doing this work for 16 years, and a day on the job means making calls to a gas station.
Price per gallon, please.
And stopping by a bike shop.
Great, thank you so much.
We can't show you the exact stores or products because their confidentiality is protected by law, but the data collectors are precise.
Have you ever thought about going on The Price is Right?
No, I can't believe you asked me that question.
Taking the guessing out of the prices that really matter. Bradley Blackburn, CBS News, Central New Jersey.
Well, she'd definitely win if she was on The Price is Right. Now, according to the U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics, the mean hourly wage in La Crosse and Onalaska in this area is $24.51 as of May of 2021.
All right, we are seeing fog out there, zero visibility, I should say. Here in La Crosse, we're at 57 degrees. Our dew point's at 55, so obviously when you get your air temperature and your dew point very close to the same number, this is the result of that. Winds are out of the southeast at 5 miles per hour. River levels now at 4.96 feet. Yesterday, made it to 80 after a morning start of 48, 77, and 55. This is our 30-year average. We're at 46 hundredths of an inch. I'll get it out in a second. 46 hundredths of an inch below normal for the month of September. In terms of precip, we're at 3.45 inches below normal for the year. Now, this number right here is based off of the 30-year average. No rain yesterday, no rain today. And take a look at this. 26 out of the 30 days in September have had record highs of 90 degrees or higher. Out of that 26, 3 of those was over 100, or at or over 100, I should say. 101, 1922, 1978 was at 100, 1955 was also at 100. The last 90-degree day we had in September, my birthday of last year, September 19th, 2021, we were at 90 degrees. After that, you have to go all the way back to 2019, September 30th to be exact, where we were at 91. So simply put, the next 8 days, no 90 degrees, but we have rain chances in the forecast. Not today, not tomorrow, but as we go into Friday, throughout the weekend, and then Monday night, precip chances will start to pick up. Clean sweep on the radar scan right now. This is going to get a break for today as well as tomorrow. The dew point, though, is going to start going up, with it being right around the 55 to 60 degree range. So it's still going to be pretty comfortable out there, to say the least. Not going to be that sticky, humid feeling, but still not bad whatsoever. A little bit of cloud cover not out of the question as we go into the afternoon and early evening hours. The clouds will start to thicken as we go into your Thursday morning. And then as we go into the afternoon hours, we'll stay partly to mostly cloudy. Today we'll go into the 70s from top to bottom again. Gorgeous, to say the least. For today, we go to 78 degrees with mostly sunny skies. A gorgeous day with winds out of the southeast at around 5 to 10 miles per hour. Mid to upper 50s will be the rule. Some places will get right around 60, 61 degrees with increasing clouds. An overall mild evening. Winds will be out of the southeast at 5 to 10 miles per hour. The next 8 days, so today we go to 78 degrees, and we'll talk about how we get there. We start the day off with temperatures right around 57 degrees by the 8 o'clock hour. We'll go to 78 by the 2 o'clock hour. Hover right around 78 throughout the afternoon hours, going to 70 degrees as we head into the 8 o'clock in the evening hours. And then precip chances pick up as we go into Friday, Saturday, Sunday, as well as next week. The long ranger shows temperatures going above normal for the next 6 to 10 days. Precip keeps us above normal as well. And then the 8 to 14 day precip chances near normal. Temperatures stay above normal. We'll be back in a few minutes. Don't go anywhere. But first, here's a look at this day in history. All right, we are seeing fog out there. Look at that temperature of 57 degrees. It feels like 57. Humidity is sitting at 93%, and that wind is out of the southeast at 5 miles per hour. Other places seeing low to no visibility, especially over towards the Sparta area, towards Boscobel, as well as Prairie du Chien. So like I've said throughout the newscast, please allow yourself extra time to get from point A to point B. As you get the kiddos ready for school, we'll see temperatures going into the 60s with partly cloudy skies. By the time they head home, we'll see temperatures right around 83 degrees. That's it for weather for now. Hey, Rob Schiff, take it away, buddy.
Welcome to the Blitz. The Logan volleyball team got an impressive win last week over Aquinas, a 3-set sweep. Rangers looking to build on that against the top team in the MVC last night. Holman's 4-1 in conference play so far. Vikings looking to stay hot. Rangers, though, without their leader, Jazzy Davis. But a good start here for Logan. In the first, Lauren Rendler with the strike. She keeps it inside the line. Rangers go up by 4, but the Vikings find their groove, and it's Raina McCardle leading the charge. 20 kills on the night. That's one of them. Holman takes the first set, 25-18. Second set, though, all Rangers. Ava Detweiler to Liberty Sprain, the junior. She gets it done. Logan takes the second set, 25-17. But in the third, Vikings going to work. McCardle had 20 kills. She also had 20 assists. There's one to Kendra Winker. All home in the third, 25-8. Vikings keep rolling. They win this one over Logan in 4 sets. Spartans also win their match in 4 sets over Central. And Aquinas takes down Onalaska 3-1. Let's head to the Cooley Conference. Westby's 14-1 on the season so far. Norseman kept rolling last night against Black River Falls. Norseman take the first set 25-19. Then Jana Berg set up perfectly. She skies high for the kill. How about McKendrick Hansen? Same spot, same result. Then it's Berg again at the net. Another kill. Westby continues to roll. They get the 3-set sweep over Black River Falls. Brewers looking for their 3rd straight win, taking on the rival Cardinals. 3-2 St. Louis in the second, but Willie Adames comes through with the bases loaded. He goes back up the box for an RBI single. We're tied at 3. Tied at 4 now in the 5th, but Kutch comes through in the clutch. Andrew McCutcheon with a man on. He gets all of this one to left center. A 2-run shot from McCutcheon. Brewers win their 3rd straight, 8-4 the final from St. Louis. Twins hosting the Royals last night. It's 2-0 Minnesota in the 5th, but Carlos Correa doubles that in the blink of an eye. Where's this one going to land? That makes it 4-0 Twins. And how about Joe Ryan? 7 no-hit innings for the rookie. Didn't get a chance to finish it, though. He was at 106 pitches after 7, but the Twins do hang on for the win, 6-3. That'll do it for the Blitz. We'll see you tonight.
Breaking overnight, Pope Francis is calling for peace during a 3-day visit to Kazakhstan this weekend. During the Pope's visit to Central Asia, he'll meet with civil and religious leaders. About 50 countries are expected to be represented at the event. The goal of the Pope's visit is said to be a search for peace between different religions and cultures. North Korea has released new propaganda posters featuring its nuclear missiles, and after the country codified its nuclear policy into law last week, the country has created a law that allows the right to use nuclear strikes to protect itself. That law is irreversible. The Justice Department is turning up the heat on former President Donald Trump. Multiple sources familiar with the January 6 probe confirm it recently subpoenaed more than 30 of his associates. Multiple sources say Senate Judiciary Committee members are debating whether to ask the former president and former vice president to appear before it. A second DOJ investigation involves classified documents seized from Trump's Florida home. Meantime, the House Oversight Committee wants a personal certification from former President Trump that all classified documents were returned. The committee is also writing to the National Archives asking for them to check whether some records are still missing. At the end of August, the archives said they weren't sure if they have everything. One of former President Trump's former national security advisor told the committee he is concerned Trump may have moved classified documents to other clubs. Republican U.S. Senator Lindsey Graham proposed new national restrictions on abortion. Tuesday, Graham announced legislation that would ban the procedure after 15 weeks of pregnancy nationwide. Polls have shown the issue of abortion has increased in importance for Democratic voters in the midterms after the U.S. Supreme Court in June overturned the landmark 1973 Roe v. Wade ruling that had recognized women's constitutional right to abortion. 340,000 people in Wisconsin have a disability and are eligible to vote. Voting rights supporters say that their rights have been under attack, and that's why they say voting is more important than ever for people who need help. Frank Healy has more.
Officials with the Milwaukee County Election Commission met with voting rights advocates as well as people with disabilities today to talk about how everyone should have access to vote privately and independently. This morning at Independence First, people like Scott Luber, a plaintiff in Kerry versus the Wisconsin Election Commission, talked about how a Wisconsin Supreme Court decision scared him out of voting.
I would be breaking the law by doing so, by having assistance.
In late August, District Judge James Peterson overturned that decision, asserting that the Voting Rights Act says people like Luber, who is wheelchair bound, can get help.
Now with this ruling, I will be able to vote
People with disabilities say they're still facing obstacles, however, like the availability of voting locations and assistive technology. Milwaukee election officials say the latest in accessible voting technology will be available at all 14 early voting sites. Danita Jackson, who is completely blind, says that's important to her.
Especially since I'm a totally blind voter and don't want to necessarily share my answers and have it private.
Especially with how many people fought for the rights of black women like her.
I want to honor those people.
Jackson tried out the accessible voting machines today, with features like buttons in Braille, listening options, and even help eliminating confusion when voting in primaries by only showing one party's ticket. Disability rights advocates say machines like these can benefit everyone.
It actually is helpful if people are an ally and ask to use the accessible voting machine, because then it reminds poll workers that this voting machine is available and that it should be offered to everyone.
Now, those voting machines aren't voting machines. However, they only print out a ballot. Early voting will start in Milwaukee on October 25th. A Wisconsin judge sided with Republicans and declined to suspend his ruling that state law does not allow election clerks to fill in missing witness information on absentee ballot envelopes. That ruling this week is expected to be quickly appealed by Democrats and ultimately end up before the conservative-controlled Wisconsin Supreme Court, but it is unclear whether there could be a ruling before the November election. Wisconsin 3rd Congressional District candidate Brad Pfaff says he will participate in a debate at UW-La Crosse. The Democrat accepted the invitation from the UW-La Crosse Debate Coalition Tuesday. Pfaff has challenged Republican challenger Derek Van Orden to 3 debates. In a statement, Pfaff says he is not afraid of voters in the 3rd District and is eager to participate in an intellectual discussion. Van Orden's campaign has not responded to News 8 Now's request for comment. The League of Women Voters of the La Crosse area hosted a webinar to review Wisconsin's voting rules and to reduce voter confusion. 2 clerks walked participants through parts of both the in-person and absentee voting process. La Crosse City Clerk Nikki Elson says Tuesday's ruling on absentee ballot envelopes is something area poll workers are prepared for.
Election workers at polling places have been trained to give those envelopes a glance over to make sure that those required elements are there. And if they're not, then instruct the voter of their options for correcting that.
The organization recorded this event. We have links to watch that at news8000.com. Currently, Wisconsin law requires school boards to provide learning material on Black Americans, American Indians, and Hispanics. And now that will include AAPI history in Verona, because educators and students say, especially after the COVID-19 pandemic, leaving them out can have effects outside of the classroom.
It felt isolating as a child to see other kids get to learn about their history, but then I got to watch movies, and that was it.
Now, Verona High School junior Angela Miller is hopeful that's going to change for future students after the Verona Area School District Board
signify with aye.
Unanimously passed a resolution making Asian American and Pacific Islander history a regular part of K-12 curriculum.
Knowing that younger Asian American kids are going to one day get to learn about their history in school before they get to high school is so amazing to me.
Verona is among the first districts to do so after the Wisconsin Association of School Boards asked districts statewide in January to update their teaching.
I didn't think that Asian Americans achieved anything great in our country. I didn't think Asian Americans wrote great literature. It made me feel like I wanted to be anything but Asian American.
Angela says she didn't learn until much recently that those achievements were more than just a Disney movie.
The backbone of this country was made off of people of color. At the same time, I didn't know what all my people had contributed to the country. I didn't know what Asian Americans had done.
Cabby Hong, a teacher at Verona, says it's also more urgent now. Last year, there were more than 4,500 anti-Asian hate crimes in the U.S.
And states like Illinois, Rhode Island, Connecticut, and New Jersey are all passing laws because they understand the direct connection between intolerance and education and how important education is in fighting that.
Superintendent Dr. Tremaine Clardy says families will notice changes in the curriculum soon.
And it's not, I don't want anyone to think it's just in social studies at all. It's through art, it's through some of our history, it's through literature, and there's so many venues for us to uplift the AAPI community.
But Angela says she's already feeling uplifted by hope.
so amazingly proud.
Verona High is made up of about 38% students of color and 4% AAPI students. Well, some Wisconsin farmers are losing crops thanks to heavy rainfall. Over the weekend, southeast parts of the state reported well over 4 inches of rain. Farmers usually welcome the rain, but those in this area say getting the rain now has set them back days.
If we would have gotten it in July or August, it would have been great, but we're at the end of the season. So now we've got a field with produce that we need to pick, and it's muddy and we can't get in there.
Kathy predicts it'll be 4 to 5 days before the ground dries enough for harvesting to take place.
All right, as you head out the door, we're seeing temperatures in the 40s and 50s. We're at 57 degrees in La Crosse. It feels like 57. Our dew point's at 55. We have winds out of the southeast at 5 miles per hour. Other temperatures across the area, like I said, some places in the 40s. 47 in Black River Falls, 46 in Sparta. Viroqua, you're at 57. Winona as well as Eau Claire, good morning to you guys. You're seeing a temperature of 52 degrees. Satellite and radar right now, we have a clean sweep across the area. This is going to get a break today, tomorrow, and for the most part, Friday morning into the early afternoon hours. So if you have plans to mow your yard, let's try to start that lawnmower again, see if we can get it. There we go. It never starts on the first time, you know that. 55 by the 7 o'clock hour, 70s by the 11 o'clock hour, upper 70s by the 3 o'clock hour. Now, we are going to talk about rain chances coming up in the next check weather, and I'm telling you this right now, I think they may have an impact on your weekend, so that's something you don't want to miss. Jordan, over to you.
That is what we call a tease in the business. Well done, Mr. Dean. Coming up on the Buzz Report, a jump back into the roaring 20s, courtesy of La La Land director Damien Chazelle. We'll have those details in your Buzz Report just ahead. We'll be right back right after this here on News 8 Now this morning.
Yeah. All right, here we go. Take a look outside. We're at 57 degrees at the airport. Feels like 57. Our dew point is at 55. And if you look here on the city cam, see, you have a little spider web there. See if we can draw the spider here. There's 2, 3. This is from our director. He's like, try to draw a spider. See if we can, you know, not bad. Nope. One leg's longer than the other. There we go. Oh, and we're missing a little smiley face. I couldn't even get that. 57 degrees, dew point 55, winds out of the southeast at 5 miles per hour. They're cheering me on in my ear. Made it to 80 yesterday after a morning start of 48. 77 and 55 is where we should be for this time of year. Now, the reason why I'm showing this, look at this number right here, that 95. Yes, we get into the mid-90s in September. Not this year, though, but take a look at this. 26 out of 30 days in the month of September have had a record of 90 degrees or higher. Out of those 26, 3 of those have had 100 degrees. 1922, we were at 101. 1978 and 1955, we were at 100. So it's very rare, but it does happen. The last time we were in the 90s in September, last year, on my birthday, September 19th, 2021, we were at 90 degrees. After that, you've got to go back to 2019. September 30th, we were at 91. So why am I saying this? Well, like I said, the next 8 days, no 90s to talk about, but we have the rain chances in the forecast. Nothing today, nothing tomorrow. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, we have rain chances, and then Monday night, we have a rain chance. Not today. There's the radar scan. We have a clean sweep across the area, and with the dew points in the 50s to 60 degree range, we're going to go ahead and put Fremsted's hair in the wavy category, so he may need a little bit of hairspray as you head out the door. Looking good, Jordan. Take a look at this right now as we go into your Wednesday morning into the afternoon hours. A little bit of cloud cover out there. The clouds really start to ramp up, though, as we go into your Thursday morning and afternoon hours. But today, in terms of temperature, not bad at all. If you have outdoor plans, especially for your lunch, get out and enjoy it. Temperatures will be in the 70s, upper 70s to be exact. Tomorrow, much like today, the only difference, we're going to turn the heat up just a little bit. How about low 80s? I'll take that. 78 degrees for today, mostly sunny skies, another nice day. Winds out of the southeast at around 5 to 10 miles per hour. 59 degrees for tonight with increasing clouds and a mild evening with winds out of the southeast at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Let's break down the next 8 days, shall we? 83 Thursday, 82 Friday. Rain chances Friday night going into Saturday. then Sunday morning and Monday night, and then on and off Tuesday and Wednesday. Now we're going to see a front push its way through. Tuesday into Wednesday, we go from highs in the 80s to highs in the 70s. So Jordan, a little bit of everything for everybody, if you will.
Don't worry, I came prepared today. I've got the hairspray in. It's not going anywhere. But can we address the fact that Eric Dean's drawing skills? That looked like a potato with hair, not a spider. Come on. We got to do better than that. Okay, in our Buzz Report this morning, here is your first look at Babylon, about the decadence of dreams of the 1920s Hollywood. Brad Pitt and Margot Robbie lead the ensemble cast of the drama from La La Land writer and director Damien Chazelle. Now, Babylon opens in a limited release December 25th and in wide release January 6th. After 57 years on broadcast television, the iconic soap opera Days of Our Lives has moved to streaming. Deidre Hall, who has starred on the show for more than 40 years, says the switch will not affect the content. Fans can now find current and previous episodes on Day of Days on Peacock. Well, you could earn a little cash by pumping your adrenaline this Halloween. The Dish satellite TV service is looking for someone to watch 13 Stephen King movies. Whoever is selected will get $100 per movie, but you'll have to track your heart rate and jump scares and answer a few questions about which flicks you liked the best. That's a pretty easy $100 a movie, I would say. Well, normally we would send you to break with a look at who is turning 8. No submissions today. I have a hard time believing, Eric, that nobody was turning 8.
Now, on a side note, Jordan, in regards to what you said earlier, keep in mind I'm left-handed and I did that right-handed, so a little bit of a grace period there. But no, if you know somebody turning 8 months, 8 years, 80 years, or 88 years soon, we would love to feature them.
Yeah, just upload their photo to our website at news8000.com. Look for the Submit Pictures button right under the Home tab on our website. They're not turning 8, but my twin brother and sister, Casey and Jason, they are turning 25 today, so happy birthday to both of them. Well, we hope you can stay with us this morning. We've got everything you need to know this morning in 5 minutes or less. Your Morning News Now is up next.
And on CBS Mornings, we are live from Buckingham Palace along the procession route in London as the Queen's coffin is set to be moved to Westminster Hall later this morning. Also, former first daughter, that would be Chelsea Clinton, joins us to talk about her new picture book and what her unique, high-profile childhood taught her about raising kids of her own. And first on CBS Mornings, the editor of Bon Appetit magazine reveals their list of the best new restaurants in America that opened in 2022. That will be this year. We'll see at 7.
Your Morning News Now on this Wednesday. Tents are once again popping up in La Crosse's Cameron Park. Once the site of a small encampment, the city moved the unsheltered population out of the downtown area to Houska Park. But Houska is set to close at the end of October. And when it does, the roughly 100 people living there must move. Sandy Brecky, a population health nurse, says a committee has been meeting for months in search of winter shelters, but finding a space is not so simple.
But a lot of people are at the table, really working diligently, trying to do what's best for the community and what's best for people who are experiencing homelessness.
Last year, much of the population moved into the Ocano Lodge. Brecky says that isn't an option this year, but the committee is determined to have a solution before Houska closes. There is no solution for the winter yet, but one long-term solution for affordable housing is on the way. On Tuesday night, a city committee voted to approve to buy the Marine Credit Union building on Monitor Street. That now heads to the full council for approval. And with that in mind, the city is planning to develop an affordable housing complex with that property. That committee passed a resolution to spend roughly $2.6 million of American Rescue Plan Act funds to buy that former Marine Credit Union headquarters. The plan is to convert that Monitor Street building into 30 affordable housing units. Tuesday's vote is the first of many hurdles the proposal needs to clear. It must be passed by the Finance Committee and the full council, and then it has to be rezoned as a residential property. City leaders are passionate about that project and say La Crosse needs more housing options of all kinds.
All right, as you head out the door, allow yourself extra time to get from point A to point B. We'll see mostly sunny skies, a gorgeous day out there. Winds will be out of the southeast at around 5 to 10 miles per hour tonight. Look at this. Temperatures in the mid to upper 50s. Some places seeing temperatures in the low 60s with increasing clouds and a mild evening.
Traffic deaths in Wisconsin are expected to increase for the 4th year in a row. According to the Wisconsin Department of Transportation, traffic-related crashes statewide have led to close to 400 deaths. Director of Transportation Safety, David Papp, says one main cause is reckless driving. This year, police in La Crosse have issued 17 reckless driving citations. If you are on your cell phone, Papp says you are 4 times more likely to get into a car crash.
It's just second nature for it to be in our hands, and it's so dangerous to have it in your hand while you're driving. The distraction and the temptation is just so great.
The consequences of reckless driving are high. Law enforcement officials say it only takes a few reckless driving citations to lose your driver's license. Papp says the best way to prevent traffic fatalities is by keeping your eyes on the road and putting away any distractions. The former Cashton educator charged in connection to a hit list has agreed to a plea deal. Investigators say Michelle Herricks wrote a list of teachers' names and the phrases shoot 'em, stab 'em, blow 'em up and made it appear like 2 students wrote it. A security camera caught Herricks dropping the note in a school hallway. Herricks told police her son had problems with one of the students at the top of that list, but she denied any involvement. Herricks and prosecutors reached a diversion agreement, and that means she agreed to plead guilty or no contest, and if she completes a 2-year program that includes therapy, community service, and paying court fees, Herricks will never serve a sentence. The Wild Kingdom feels a little closer to home this morning. Residents of Onalaska's Brookdale Assisted Living got up close and personal with animals from Haven's Petting Farm. From alpacas to donkeys, there was a little bit of everything. However, there was one animal that really caught the eye of one resident.
I should go and see the zebra because that's a very unusual animal. I don't even think when we had a zoo here in La Crosse, they never had a zebra.
You're probably right, Lyle. Residents tell us they were excited for the petting zoo. It has changed up what they do on a day-to-day basis.
All right, let's break down the 8 days, shall we? Temperatures in the upper 70s today. Tomorrow, much like today, we'll just turn the temperature up a few degrees here and there. 83 degrees is where we'll be at. We'll go to 82 for Friday. We'll see precip chances Friday night. Throughout the day Saturday. Sunday morning, not out of the question. Monday night, not out of the question. And then we have a front push its way through Tuesday going into Wednesday, and we drop the temperatures from the 80s to the 70s.
And finally shut off the AC. And now you're saving everybody money, Eric.
I aim to please.
Don't forget to keep up with the news of the day at news8000.com. We'll have the latest coming up this afternoon on News 8 Now at noon. CBS Mornings follows us here. Have a great day, and thank you for watching.